Good afternoon and welcome to the Applied Graphene Materials PLC Interim Results Investor Presentation. Throughout this recorded presentation, investors will be in listen-only mode. Questions are encouraged and can be submitted at any time via the Q&A tab situated in the right-hand corner of your screen. Just simply type in your questions and press send. The company may not be in a position to answer every question it receives during the meeting itself. However, the company will review all questions submitted today and publish responses where it is appropriate to do so. Before we begin, I'd like to submit the following poll. I'd now like to hand you over to Adrian Potts, CEO, and David Blaine, CFO, who won't have his camera on today to conserve his bandwidth. But good afternoon to you both.
Thanks, Ali, and welcome to AGM's interim results presentation, where I'm pleased to be able to update you and share with you progress on our graphene dispersions and application technology business. As Ali mentioned, I'm Adrian Potts, CEO, and with me today is David Blaine, the CFO.
Hi, everyone.
Together we form the executive team. At Applied Graphene Materials, we're proud to classify ourselves as a leading innovator with graphene nanoplatelets through our dispersion and application know-how and technology footprint. Creating value is what our purpose is all about for all of our stakeholders. Graphene materials reliably and repeatably supplied into a range of applications. This is what creates a valuable technology platform for graphene deployment. And we have a great customer enabling product range available for clients to engage with this technology. Our mission at this stage of development is all about continuous innovation and technical leadership. We are all about delivering successful outcomes with individual customer engagements using our dispersed products, and David will talk to our pipeline of opportunities later. And this ultimately is what creates the revenue stream and value for AGM. Our vision is all about, of course, growth and performance and return on investment, pushing the boundaries with this exciting class of materials and developing our commercial revenue position in our chosen fields of application. We believe our approach enables a greater potential for successful outcomes around the possibilities with graphene. Great knowledge around how to use these materials to great effect that's backed up with solid performance data. Our dispersion technology, our experience, our know-how, these are true differentiators and the key to benefiting from the outstanding performance attributes that graphene has to offer. All this combined in a range of graphene, dispersions capability, application knowledge, it all comes together to enable determination of the most appropriate graphene material and most appropriate dispersion formulation for a specific end-use application. And this is our key USP that truly sets us apart. So to touch on our operational highlights in summary, we've seen really a challenging environment in the past month in the protective coating sector, and we'll talk some more to that shortly. Despite this, we've made great progress with some of our customers using our products, good progress in our technology platform development and in work with our distributors. We've seen successful use of our products in a range of applications. We've launched our own primer products that has enabled further customer engagement. The car care sector, as a subsector of the protective coatings market, is progressing well for us. From early stages of products launched by smaller entities, we now have larger companies evaluating our materials. Similarly, useful progress has been made with companies in the hydrogen storage sector with graphene applications in composite materials. In-house, we've continued our push for development of our technology platform with anticipated marketing of new data to enable our reach into new sector opportunities, and specifically in the chemical resistant coatings market. Our IP portfolio has expanded with patent grants, and our longer range technology development work is progressing well. Regarding customer products, our graphene dispersions are now being used in a growing number of launched customer products, from protective industrial coatings to car care to composites. Our commercial strategy is to present AGM's products and engage with global opportunities through a network of distributors, and that's progressing well. The network has been expanded over the period. And one of the further areas for support and commitment on our part is for regulatory approvals for in anticipation for future higher volume use of these materials. And current activity in this area is focused on the USA sector. So I'll hand over to David now to talk to financial summary.
Thanks, Adrian. I'd just like to bring up the main financial and strategic highlights during the last period and at our current stage of commercialisation. Revenues for the half year were £46,000. Operating expenses were in line with expectations and last year. The EBITDA, which is a loss, has increased by £145,000 versus last year as a result of the increased gross loss. We believe we've managed cash well, and at the end of January we had 4.2 million in the bank, and this continues to carry us beyond the 31st of January 2023. The coatings industry has been going through a challenging time for the last 12 months, and this has impacted our sales growth. One of the key reasons has been diverted resources within our customers to deal with their supply chain issues. Despite this, new customer product launches now totals 24, with 5 in the current period. We continue with a strong pipeline of engagements, although the pace of evaluation of our products has slowed, as described above. We see this as a timing issue rather than a fundamental change. Our commercial focus is on distribution of graphene dispersions as a conduit for sales on a broader platform, and we were pleased to add a new distributor to our sales network to strengthen opportunity in Asia in March 2022. Back to Adrian.
Thanks, David. So to put some context to the current state of the industrial coatings sector, in the past 12 months, that market has been significantly impacted by a number of conflicting issues, which has in turn impacted our throughput and our momentum. The challenge for the industry has been seen in the supply chain of basics of building block chemicals used in the industry, and has been the impact has been wide-ranging. These issues have ranged from materials availability through force majeure events, through capacity shortages, through to logistics issues and impact on materials costs. Customers have needed to respond accordingly to these pressures to ensure continuity of their standard products. And the practical outcome of this has been for our customer base, and I see it in my own engagement with the customers that I've been dealing with, is to reallocate innovation teams and R&D resources to basic problem solving for base chemistries. So finding alternative basic materials that will work in their products. So switching from looking at innovation and new technology to finding replacement for current materials need. And all of these have combined, of course, with the legacy of COVID in terms of availability of staff to meet this challenge. So the outcome of this has been a lack of availability of innovation resources in many of our customers, which in turn has affected the pace of engagement of our products. We see this very much as a timing issue. The good thing that is starting to emerge now is that the industry, the protective coatings industry, has done a good job at regrouping, and reliance on areas like single sourcing and offshoring continues to be addressed across the breadth of the industry for these wide-ranging building block chemicals. So timing-wise, we see the industry starting to bounce back in terms of 2 areas. So first of all, volume of coatings being supplied, which means it's a really good indicator of the problems that are starting to be resolved. And then in terms of R&D teams starting to become available again to look at innovation opportunities. So some good signs from the industry that will feed well into our innovation cycle with our customers. We have a strong network of representation around the globe and are continuing to develop this with new appointments expected in areas like Latin America and India, these being 2 key areas for us. I'm really pleased that we secured a distribution agreement with a company called Rayon Chemtech in Taiwan recently to strengthen our opportunities in Asia. Positive progress with them, and they're already organizing multiple materials sampling requests in pursuit of their customer evaluations of our products. With the opportunities that graphene present in the coatings and composites space, we've worked really hard with our distributors to support them technically as they introduced our dispersed graphene materials into their respective regions. And we see this effort, this investment, as a really good investment for longer term success of our distributors in further engagements with our products as the industry returns to a level of normality. Just to mention regulatory support behind the scenes, it's an important area for us and a necessity for future volume use of these materials. We already have REACH accreditation in Europe, and we've set out a strategy to get ahead in this area. So our efforts cover a range of territories, of course, to support our distributors, but specific focus at the moment is in the USA market, with applications with the Environmental Protection Agency to achieve a target of a TSCA listing for our products. I'll now hand back to David to talk to the engagement pipeline and some more of the details behind that.
Thanks, Adrian. So the sales cycle of graphene products in most applications can be very lengthy, and it is difficult to forecast the duration of each development program. And this is especially the case in the current climate. We've always said that the pace of adoption ultimately is dictated by the pace of our customers, and as we've discussed, this has slowed given the issues of the industry at large currently. The chart on this slide helps to describe the progress on the basis of increasing technology readiness level within a customer project, from initial inception and first look at graphene dispersions through to final commercialization of a finished product. The numbers in each bar cover the number of customers at each stage of that evolution through the process of customer engagement, evaluation, and testing. Most of this activity is for industrial-focused protective coatings customers, with activity also in aerospace, oil and gas, and marine. Stages 4 and 5, where the process is becoming more developed and testing repeated, have grown on top of some of the products having come to a completion and having been launched. At the end of January, the pipeline is 34% greater than it was at 31st of January 2021. The number of opportunities in the final stages of the pipeline, that's stages 4 and 5, has grown from 17 to 21 during the period as a result of 11 opportunities moving up the pipeline, 5 opportunities being completed, and 2 opportunities discontinued. In total, net of additions to the pipeline, 8 opportunities have been discontinued during the last 6-month period. We can currently identify 6 customer engagements which we believe are very close to commercial traction. Clearly, not everyone is successful in their use of graphene materials, but with the level of support we're able to offer, plus the depth of know-how in use of our materials in a practical way, we see good traction with many of these opportunities. In terms of the distribution of the pipeline, these pie charts, they show that it explains that protective coatings continues to be high, total of 85%, of which 21% is in car care. And the pie chart on the right shows the distribution of the valuation across the world through our distribution channels. At present, we have approximately 90 salespeople promoting AGM products via distributors in AGM's small in-house team. We have a really strong regional split of the pipeline, so we have a good portfolio across the distribution partners. The pipeline now includes 60, which is 36% of opportunities through distributors. Whilst coatings remains the major part of the opportunities, composites, though small by value at this stage, contains some solid engagements with customers looking at materials in the hydrogen storage sector. And with that, I'll pass back to Adrian.
Thanks, David. So turning our attention to commercial use for graphene dispersions in industrial coatings and beyond, we've launched 2 new primer products in the sector in the period to accelerate engagement opportunities yet further. Why finished products? It enables our customers, as well as obviously creating sales opportunities, it enables our customers to actually turn their attention to just understanding the use of graphene-based products, what they look like, how they work, and enables a fast-track opportunity for engagement. So one of these products is for general-purpose industrial anti-corrosion use. The second is for much harsher anti-corrosion protection applications, typified on the left-hand side of this slide with the UK Environment Agency Coastal Flood Defence application. We've supplied our Graphene HC, or harsh corrosion primer product, to UK EA contractors for the first use of this finish coating on UK flood defence assets in the northeast of the UK. We're pursuing the next phase of engagement with them, with sales of primer to further UK EA locations. And this is an important project for AGM. It marks the sustainability objective of maintenance reduction through longer life graphene enhanced coating systems in harsh corrosion environments, such as you find around coastal locations. The coating deployed is the result of some 18 months of product formulation by ourselves, and of course includes extensive testing. A further customer focused development project is now underway to finalize a top coat development to complement the primer product as typically used by the UK Environment Agency. And it's collaborations like this where the customer has clear objectives which enable successful product outcomes underpinning sales potential for the longer term. We've also seen positive progress with All Times Coatings in the UK and the use of their Advantage Graphene product, which contains our graphene dispersions, on a growing number of roofing and construction application projects. The coating, Advantage Graphene, offers a great sustainable solution, outstanding barrier and anti-corrosion performance, substantially reducing corrosion over time. It's a cost-effective solution, a single coat system that actually employs thinner coatings being used due to the high efficiency and effectiveness of graphene used in that coating. It offers extended life and reduced maintenance cycle, and an extended warranty is offered by All Times to their customers. So we have here the potential for increased intervals between inspection and maintenance. The system is now in use in a number of building maintenance projects in the UK, including buildings for P&O, the Royal Mail, Lidl, and other retail entities. So it's great to see the use of the product becoming more widespread. And All Times push is also to achieve certification with architects to enable direct use through architect specifications and to lock in their coating to future project opportunities. Further afield, business opportunities in India have developed with our customer Stanvac Superon. The Stanvac graphene-based conductive and barrier coating, again using our graphene dispersions, is designed for a different area, so reducing power loss on transmission line connectors. And this has been used to demonstrate superior performance through this product offering. Stanvac report a 30 to 50% improvement with the graphene-based product over baseline coatings. And they report to us that customer trials are going well, customers are seeing the results expected, and opportunities for engagement by Stanvac with their customers are now in that cycle of refurbishment and maintenance to create opportunities for this product to be used, and that will drive further demand and volume for us. So we confidently await formal customer approval as the product is taken up, which in turn will enable wider adoption and progressive increase in sales volume for our dispersed products. In the floor coatings sector, so this is protective coatings for industrial flooring. Our lead customer in this sector reports that the testing phase is now complete and they are moving towards development of a marketing campaign for the graphene-based product. We eagerly anticipate the launch of this innovative concrete floor coating product where graphene is being used in a highly effective way. So our dispersions are being used in this application to replace legacy materials at significantly lower loadings, giving the customer greater flexibility and reduced cost, as well as improved performance. So where does this lead? Initially, the first customer product launch, of course, in this floor coating sector, read across to our imminent chemical resistance coatings technology launch, and then expecting to add to a number of engagements in this important sector opportunity. And of course, it further leads to innovation opportunities in the areas such as anti-static coatings to further utilize the power of graphene in these types of coatings for areas such as the electronics industry. Within the car care sector, and David mentioned earlier, around 20% of our engagements by sales value are in this part of the protective coatings market. One of our early customers in the automotive coating space, James Briggs, is now developing regular demand for our dispersions for their white label aerosol primer products. So we see good momentum there. Product launch traction in the automotive detailing sector initially has been with a lot of smaller entities that have launched products off the back of highly efficient use of graphene. But we're now well beyond that initial proof of concept with those smaller customers and are looking for higher volume throughputs for our graphene dispersions with larger entities with, of course, larger demand for their products and a bigger presence on retail shelves. So we offer both water-based and a range of sector-relevant solvent-based dispersions specific to this market. So we're well aligned with customer need in this space. Post-product launch, a few examples in this sector. One of our US customers continues to roll out their new technology to their sales network, and we anticipate a progressive increase in adoption with them. We're at an advanced stage with product development and engagement with one of the larger customers in the car care sector, and are hopeful of a positive outcome with that for product integration and consequential sales volume once testing is finalized. And then we're pleased to be able to have supplied 3 dispersion products in volume to a further US customer, which will enable them to imminently launch a graphene-based product to the car care market. Turning our attention to composite materials, as David mentioned, this is a smaller area for us given the specialty nature of composite materials technology, but it has great potential for us, particularly in regard to the hydrogen space, which is an emerging opportunity for us. Our graphene dispersions offer specific technology opportunities in this sector. Efforts in the hydrogen storage space are gathering momentum from the solid example established with one of our customers, Infinite Composite Technologies. Use of our graphene nanoplatelet dispersions in composite structures enables a very specific performance gain in these already high performance materials. As ICT progressively increases build rate momentum for their storage pressure vessels, we're encouraged to see demand for our specialty dispersed products for their pressure vessel applications, and we anticipate a progressive increase in volume of dispersions to be supplied to them in the coming months. A number of additional current engagements in the area of storage vessel technology are now actively evaluating our graphene dispersions. So the appetite for exploration of the use of graphene in this area is expected to continue to grow, given the increasing awareness and interest in hydrogen power to sit alongside current and future battery technologies. And this has relevance in the automotive sector, transportation sector, and through to aerospace. So anticipating a growing and long-term demand for hydrogen storage applications, and are confident that we're well placed with the end-to-end understanding of how to use graphene really well in these demanding applications. Despite the slower pace of customer activity, AGMs, we've focused on continuing the important work behind the scenes of developing our comprehensive platform of technology and product offerings for the protective coating sector and beyond. And these are supported with extensive data and guidance documents on example formulations arising from many months of testing. These data serve to equip our customers and distributors on how to be successful with the use of our graphene dispersions. So across the range of applications, we have products which can fulfill requirements in a broad spectrum of opportunity, including a range of corrosion scenarios, protective car care products, and products needing a number of attributes from the addition of graphene as an innovative material. And our product dispersions are really come under the banner of easy to use, enabling safe use of graphene, and of course long shelf life for those products, which enables distributors to market those products and supply them to good effect to our customers. Specifically on the chemical resistance market, following on from successful deployment of graphene dispersions into anti-corrosion formulations and demonstration of that with a growing number of customers, we've now developed the know-how for the chemical resistance market. We see ourselves extremely well placed now to push into this sector as an adjacency to the anti-corrosion market, and it's a great opportunity for our type of dispersed graphene product. The imminent chemical resistance technology launch is expected to add substantially to the number of engagements in the pipeline, both directly through our sales effort and through our distributors' efforts in the sector. We're both well aligned in the chemical supply market, and the scope for chemical resistant coating is broad, so it creates great opportunity for a good level of pipeline engagement in both protective coatings for concrete in a range of applications, for pipelines, for transportation, and for chemical storage, and also for composites that are used in this composite materials that are used in this sector. Talking to technology platform development, and to give you an update in this area, technology and innovation, of course, is central to our success in developing a technology platform that is meaningful for engagement with our customers. We're active in a number of further developing areas for the near term to add strength and depth to our IP and practical know-how, which we can then use to really good effect to support customer engagements. Near-term innovation for further opportunity creation includes the data package for chemical resistant coatings opportunity, real-time environmental testing, further dispersion development to allow a broader range of opportunities with our customers and their specific chemistries, development of application-focused materials technology, such as top coats, to enable flexible use of graphene across the whole assembly of anti-corrosion and chemical resistant coatings, applications for wind energy, and coatings for electronics. Life cycle analysis of graphene-based dispersions to deal with the sustainability credentials of our materials, and then work in adjacencies such as printables, elastomers, and composites, and supporting data to provide support for that all-important regulatory approval process. And then for our longer range technology development in the areas of material evaluation for green energy and battery technologies and hydrogen fuel and storage, all these areas are progressing well. For the longer range, further development of graphene in pressure vessels with customer engagements is advancing well. Battery applications for graphene coatings products, applications for novel graphene structures for hydrogen fuel cells, and then we're progressing the development of thermal interface materials off of the platform of currently established thermal adhesive technology. We anticipate positive engagement in, for example, the automotive sector for such materials using the combination of high thermal conductivity and low weight for such applications as heat management on areas such as EV batteries. We've made positive progress and continue to build a strong IP portfolio, which again adds value to what we're about, both with the effectiveness of graphene and the application of these materials through our dispersion technology. A UK patent has been granted for water-based coatings. A Singapore patent has been granted for corrosion protection for metallic substrates with a range of 2D materials, and then a Chinese patent for our application for aluminium corrosion protection. And then trademark protection has been granted in the USA and Turkey. To talk to product momentum for a moment and some recent examples of customer momentum in this space, Standvet products from a previous slide, and as a reminder, they've seen a substantial improvement in performance with the use of graphene in their products. Infinite Composites, we see this now as a mature technology with their pressure vessels being able to be offered to a broader spectrum of application. Their niche technology is in space and aerospace environment. They're now diversifying into a broader hydrogen storage platform. And it's great to see that they have now a developing order book, which will feed into dispersion opportunities and volume growth for us. Our US customer, we've supplied over 100 kilos of dispersions to them in readiness for product launch. Another US customer with a sealant product is currently marketing that well, and then an application for graphene in commercial vehicle coatings in the UK. In addition to the 24 products, we, as I mentioned before, have 2 finished primers now available directly from AGM, and as we've seen, one of these is used already on environmental agency assets. Current valuation for these products is around £500,000 of dispersion sales at full use rates, and of course I stress at full use rates once these products are in full volume. The reduction in sales value to previous reporting reflects perhaps a more cautious valuation of these products, given current experience in that the difficult trading that we've seen in the sector. Just touching on sustainability for a moment, our focus for sustainability is centered on our product offerings and the power of graphene to bring about a more sustainable solution as compared with some of the more conventional materials offerings that are out there. The application of our coatings with the UK Environment Agency is illustrative of the potential for a longer life cycle between maintenance events to reduce the cost of maintenance and reduce the environmental impact of, for example, stripping and recoating products and services and assets of our end customers. So as the coatings industry is moving to towards a more water-based focus, our water-based graphene dispersions offer an ideal opportunity for our end users to innovate with easy-to-use solutions to introduce new technology propositions to their coatings applications. And in pursuit of more sustainable bases for coatings products, we also offer a range of low VOC and bio-based product dispersions. For manufacturing, our focus in the period has been on dispersion capacity. We're in the process of completing a lease on extending our space to enable an expanded dispersion footprint. Equipment's currently on order to support that process. So in summary, to reiterate what we're about, whilst we've seen a slowing of activity levels in our industrial protective coatings industry base, and as David talked to, this represents about 60 or so % of our sales value of application. So it's a strong area of focus for us. We see this very much as a timing challenge. Despite all of the issues that we face in that industry, we've continued with our solid efforts to develop and test and demonstrate practical graphene solutions for end users to adopt. Our product range is designed to meet the needs for innovators in the industry, evaluating substitution with graphene into conventional chemistries and those looking for more advanced sustainable solutions. We have a high technology readiness level with these standard products, and we're also very adept at customized solutions to suit specific applications and customer needs. We see AGM as extremely well placed to engage as the industrial coating sector returns to more normal product development activity levels. We continue to demonstrate performance advantages with the use of graphene. We've seen greener product portfolio to support sustainable product development. We're committed to developing an opportunity portfolio further in the areas of chemical resistance, as we've talked to. So offering a broader platform of technology supported with regulatory positioning We've launched our graphene-loaded primer products to support the early adoption of graphene materials and create a further sales conduit. So emerging opportunities in the area of battery technology and hydrogen fuel and storage are also progressing well. Our global distribution platform is now well trained in the use of our products, and we're anticipating strong progress from them to drive the number of engagements forwards. And of course, that will be further bolstered with our efforts in the chemical resistant coatings market. A new addition in Taiwan further strengthens the distributor network. We maintain a strong pipeline of customer activity, and although we recognize that this has slowed somewhat in throughput and activity levels in recent months due to that resource availability in our customers, the level of support with our distributors remains strong, both technically and with regulatory support. And we anticipate once that industry returns to full innovation mode, we anticipate some great progress to be made. We're adding dispersion capacity in preparation for that anticipated return to that innovation cycle in the coatings industry. And as a board, we're confident that the technology positioning of AGM enables further solid future opportunities. That's backed with a cash position that takes us beyond January of 2023. So we're confident that we can drive this business forward with the re-emergence of the innovation activity in the protective coating sector. And overall, we believe that AGM has a bright future with the technology that we've developed for graphene nanoplatelets through our dispersions and applications know-how. So with that, I'd like to hand back to Ali. Thank you for your attention, and we can go on to Q&A in a short while.
Adrian, David, thank you very much for your presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, please do continue to submit your questions using the Q&A tab situated in the top right-hand corner of your screen. But just while Adrian and David take a few moments to review those questions submitted today, I'd like to remind you that a recording of this presentation, along with a copy of the slides and the published Q&A, can be accessed via your investor dashboard. Adrian, David, we received 2 pre-submitted questions from investors, and I want to start off the Q&A session with these. The first one reads as follows: why hasn't graphene taken over the world yet?
Yeah, so there's a question. So, I mean, graphene, was announced as a new materials innovation back in 2004. We've been developing our technology along with many of our peers with different forms of graphene. The key element to graphene materials technology is all about how we apply that material to a range of different scenarios. So between ourselves and our peers, we are working extremely hard to bring graphene in its nanoplatelet form. So by this, we mean graphene powder rather than the unique single layer material that was originally isolated at the University of Manchester. So a practical iteration of the material that is highly useful in terms of its performance attributes. There are still challenges of how you introduce that material to make a performance advantage in a host material. So if I give you an example of our products in use, the pathway, the end-to-end engagement is to take graphene materials, to disperse them well into a relevant intermediate that the end customer can then use in their formulations. And what we've found often is that customers who take graphene powder and then just try to introduce them into their end formulation, it can be a highly variable process. And then that leads to variability and lack of reproducibility in the effectiveness of that solution. So having that intermediate product, which we offer, that we call graphene dispersions, is a great means of creating reliable solutions to our customers' complex challenges of using graphene. So why hasn't it taken off yet? We believe it is. We believe it's a work in progress. It's targeted at specific applications. Our focus for that early opportunity to demonstrate delivery of graphene is in the protective coating space. I'm a firm believer that if you can do it in coatings, because of the complexities of that challenge, that opens up great opportunities in the broader arena of liquid resin applications across a broad spectrum of opportunity. Our peers are also operating in different areas, so there's very little crossover between what we do, and that's wide ranging from filtration right the way through to use in concrete, right the way through to use in polymer technologies. So there's a broad reach across the across the breadth of the opportunity. Our peers are progressing well along with ourselves in terms of the application of graphene in these range of industries. We see ourselves that we've set ourselves apart by offering this intermediate format of product to make graphene easy to use, to make graphene safe to use, and to give customers reliable outcomes in their innovation cycle.
Adrian, thank you very much for that. The next question is really around dividend and asks how long before shareholders get a share dividend?
Yeah, maybe bring David in for that question.
Yeah, sure. I'm happy to answer that. Clearly, to be able to pay a dividend, we need to get to a point where we have distributable reserves. We also need to look after the cash position of the company. But that is our ambition, to be able to pay dividends. I'm not going to put a timescale on that today, unfortunately, but it's certainly something that we want to be able to do in the future.
Thank you very much for that, David. That does conclude the pre-submitted questions. But as you can see, we've received a number of questions throughout today's presentation, and thank you to all the investors for submitting those. Could I please ask you to read out those questions and give responses where it's appropriate to do so, and then I'll pick up from you both at the end.
Thanks, Ali. So question, the idea of developing your own coating seems like a good one, given the reticence of coatings manufacturers to incorporate graphene into their products. However, it's a move away from merely being a provider of low volumes of high-tech additives. If you are to continue with this strategy, have you considered the implications of the need for working capital to support stock and supply? So a few parts to that question. First of all, reticence of coatings manufacturers to incorporate graphene into their products. I wouldn't say there's reticence so much as the immediacy of the challenge of the supply chain issues that we've talked to has really taken front priority for our customers. We see a good level of engagement within our pipeline. As David described, over 60% of engagements in the pipeline are geared around protective coatings applications, and by that we mean use of graphene in anti-corrosion coatings, in chemical resistant coatings, and so on. So we see a good degree of interest and engagement, and as we've talked to, I think it's more to do with timing based on supply chain issues that the industry is seeking to overcome currently, rather than a reticence to engage with graphene technology per se. Yes, it is a further development. So the second part of that question, a move away from providing low volumes of high-tech additives. It is a move away. Our aspiration is to provide higher volumes of high-tech additives as the main product offering that we are able to bring to our customers. The number of users of this technology and the dynamic of the coatings industry is that it will always veer towards customers wanting to keep their arms around their own formulations. So having that product offering as a dispersion intermediate is really important for us. So we're not moving away from that as our core technology and our core product offering. We see the addition of finished primers as merely an opportunity to create further traction and further opportunity. These products demonstrate the utility of graphene in a finish coating application. So it gives customers a number of opportunities. First of all, with end users who want to jump straight to use of that coating, who maybe don't have formulating and innovation opportunity in-house. It gives them the opportunity to utilize a new innovative product that has a lower level of toxicity from the anti-corrosion additives that are used in those coatings, and an opportunity to engage with graphene. So, it's a great opportunity that's an additive opportunity rather than replacing graphene dispersions. In terms of working capital needs for that, I think that would be modest. At this stage, we are promoting those products at targeted applications. But of course, our long-term aim is to see that to grow. And in terms of inventorying those products, yes, there will be a working capital need for that. The vast majority of that, I would say, will be through supply of our distributors. We have a small sales team in-house in the UK and in the United States. The vast majority of our sales effort is through stocking distributors. So our anticipation will be to supply those distributors as on a stocking distributor basis for them ultimately to furnish the needs of their customers. A question about who are our major competitors and how do we make our approach unique. So our major competitors, so we have a small cluster of competitors in the industry who are on the AIM market and beyond. In the UK, those would include Direct Plus, First Graphene, Versarion, and in the United States and Canada, companies like NanoExplore. There are a large number of companies that are working in the graphene space to varying degrees of engagement and success. In terms of our uniqueness and setting ourselves apart, we're one of the unique companies that offers graphene nanoplatelets in dispersed format, and the product presentation, the formatting of graphene to make that material easy to use, to make it safe to use, to provide the performance data that goes with that. That really is our uniqueness and our USP around our products. So we manufacture graphenes, we buy graphenes, but our key product uniqueness and differentiation is in that dispersion technology to offer an intermediate additive product that is able to be taken directly into our customers' labs, but then beyond into production environments as well, to enable customers to scale easily, to produce reproducible effects, not just in lab-based R&D, but then beyond into production settings. And ultimately, the success of graphene as a deployable material will be in productionization in our customers' hands. So what we want is a reliable, repeatable product that works in not just a lab-based setting, but in volume applications in production environments. And we see our products and services, the data that we supply to back up our products in practical applications as a fantastic uniqueness to what we have. And that it really differentiates what we do. A question about, in your opinion, what is the most exciting opportunity within the future technology roadmap? And will the inflationary pressures that you're currently experiencing affect this roadmap in any way? So we've got a breadth of opportunity. Our near-term engagement is very much focused around the protective coatings market. We've seen great traction in anti-corrosion performance of our products. Graphene nanoplatelets offer a unique opportunity. The efficient use of graphene is second to none, really, in terms of performance advantage. We've seen that in the protective element, the barrier performance that graphene offers in the example that I gave about the floor coatings company. The graphene has been used to replace conventional materials. It's given a cost-effective solution. It's given a performance advantage. it's given the customer formulating flexibility. And we can translate that into very harsh corrosion applications where graphene as a protective agent works exceptionally well. So I'm really excited to come to the question about exciting opportunities. The excitement is really geared around a new push into the chemical resistance coatings sector. As I mentioned in the presentation, this is a really great adjacency to anti-corrosion, where we've cut our teeth on performance data for that market. We've done a lot of the hard miles in terms of producing performance data to support the chemical resistant opportunity. And as I mentioned, that there's a great breadth to that opportunity for both pipeline applications, chemical storage, wherever chemicals, and particularly in immersion settings, come in contact with coatings, we see that graphene offers a great opportunity as a protective agent in those coatings. And we have a great platform of data to be able to back that up. And then for our longer range opportunities, yeah, really excited about the opportunities both for battery technology and the emerging hydrogen market. And particularly for hydrogen, we've got great traction with pressure vessel technology. Hydrogen, to be a practical solution, needs storage vessels, and the direction of that technology is developing with Composite Materials. We've got a great platform of technology that's been ably demonstrated with our lead customer in that sector. And as I mentioned in the presentation, we have a number of growing engagements in the area now with customers looking to emulate the use of graphene to enhance mechanical performance, again, barrier performance in those pressure vessel opportunities, to improve the all-round performance of their products. Question around next stage of fundraising and what will be the mechanism for that. Maybe David, you'd like to take that? Come up
sure.
It.
Well, we're not really able to commit today as to when we anticipate the fundraise or the mechanism. All that I would say, though, is that we are very keen to give our smaller shareholders the ability to participate in any fundraise on the same basis as larger shareholders, so that we are fair across the board where we can be. But obviously, that will come down to the actual deal when and if it's done. And we can't really say much more than that, I'm afraid, Adrian.
Yeah, thanks, David. Question, has AGM looked at marketing paint products to the classic car market? Rust is always an issue with older vehicles, and graphene coatings looks like a cold galvanizing. So one of our customers, James Briggs, so they have a well-advanced product that is highly applicable to this sector of classic car market. They offer materials under their High Coat brand and under white label branding as well, as an aerosolized coating that offers great anti-corrosion performance that is ideal for that sector. So those products are available through Halfords in the UK. They're also available under JBL's High Coat brand, and I believe the product is available on Amazon as well. So there already is product out there that is highly applicable to that sector. A question around today's update mentions revenue potential of 3.2 million sterling. Is there a risk-adjusted figure, and would achieving it result in break even or better for AGM? And then second part of that, is there any danger of AGM being usurped as the supplier in these cases? Are there other companies offering a similar solution? So in terms of risk-adjusted figure, yes, we apply various metrics to our pipeline of opportunity, including technology readiness level, right the way through to commercial value of those opportunities, and really the metric of what's our gut feel of how successful will this technology be within this customer's hands, and the opportunities that presents in the market that they're operating in. So I would say yes, that is a risk-adjusted figure. As far as we're able to look at with the feedback from our customers and the information that they share with us. Would this result in a break-even figure for AGM? Maybe David, can you talk to that?
So obviously our cost base is £3.5 million a year. So revenues of 3.2 million wouldn't take us to break even. The break-even revenue level will depend upon future mix of business. Our margins range from 30% to greater than 60%. But obviously the revenue is going to be a lot higher than 3.2 million to break even.
Thanks, David. So yeah, but we see ourselves, well down the road with the pipeline potential. Clearly not everything comes through, as David mentioned in the slide that he was talking to. But by and large, we're looking for successful outcomes with that pipeline of opportunity, and working hard with our customers to do our absolute best and make sure that they are successful in their evaluation of our materials, successful in the engagement with our materials, and then successful in transitioning those products to a successful outcome on a product launch. So that is what it's all about for us, and that in turn creates revenue stream for us, and we see that on a progressive basis. The second part of that question was really about, is there a risk of being usurped by our peers? I think we've talked to that to some degree in terms of the uniqueness of the technology that we offer, the uniqueness of the products that we offer, the IP that we hold in the space for our dispersed graphene materials, and the background data that we're able to support our customers with directly, and the ability to support our distributors' customers really is second to none. So we see ourselves as well placed in terms of competitive threat. And with that, I can hand back to Ali.
Yeah, Adrian, thank you very much. I think you managed to address all those questions from investors, and of course the company will review all questions submitted today and will publish those responses on the Investor Meet Company platform. Just before redirecting investors to provide you with their feedback, which I know is particularly important to you both, Adrian, could I just ask you for a few closing comments?
Yeah, I would just sum it up all in confidence. Confidence in our technology platform. We've set our store out in really driving forward with technology in the areas of making graphene easy to use, and supplying the background data that demonstrates the utility of graphene in the various spaces that we operate in, both historically in the anti-corrosion space, moving into chemical resistant coatings, and then beyond with our longer range technology development. Alongside that sits pipeline engagements, and as we see particularly the coatings industry re-emerge and return to normality in terms of the innovation cycle, we see ourselves as incredibly well placed with our products and opportunities to re-engage with that industry and drive momentum forward. So high degree of confidence, high degree of excitement, and there's a real buzz in what we do about our materials and technology. So really looking forward to a strong future for this business.
Adrian, thank you very much for that. And thanks, David, for updating investors today. Could I please ask investors not to close this session, as you'll now be automatically redirected to provide your feedback in order that the management team can better understand your views and expectations. This will only take a few minutes to complete, and I'm sure will be greatly valued by the company. On behalf of the management team of Applied Graphene Materials PLC, we'd like to thank you for attending today's presentation, and good afternoon to you all.
Thanks again.
Thanks, everyone.